Parmesan cheese used to cost $12.99, but now it's risen to $16.99. And she's not the only one feeling the pinch, as food prices continue to climb, forcing many people to dig deep into their wallets. Remember just a few months ago, $20 could fill your shopping cart? Now, with the same amount, you leave Walmart with a blank stare and a bag that's almost empty. Walmart, once the go-to place for Americans seeking affordable food to stock up on, has now become a place that strains their wallets even more. Ironically, those everyday essentials that Americans used to buy regularly have now become an unexpected burden. In today's video, we'll explore 7 popular foods beloved by millions of Americans, but have skyrocketed in price due to a series of seemingly well-intentioned decisions. Are you still in control of your weekly budget? Watch until the end of the video and decide for yourself. First, let's talk about canned foods, a staple in every American household's pantry. No refrigerator needed, no complicated prep required. Just open the lid and heat it up for a quick meal. But now, have you noticed anything different when buying a can of chicken soup, tuna, baked beans, or canned beef? You may not realize it, but according to a study by Nielsen IQ, the price of canned foods at major grocery chains, including Walmart, has increased by 15 to 22% over the past year. And that's not all. Portions are getting smaller, ingredients are changing, and shelf life is shorter, but brands stay quiet as if nothing's different. Have you ever opened a can of great value tuna and wondered, is there less in here now? Yep, many products have reduced in weight by about 10%, but the packaging stays the same to deceive the eye. So, what do you think about this change? Do you feel frustrated by these tricks? Share your thoughts in the comments below. A new report from Walmart shows that the cost of importing raw materials from Southeast Asia and South America has risen by nearly 30%. Meanwhile, the global aluminum shortage has driven up the cost of producing tin cans, forcing manufacturers to reduce quantities and adjust the quality of ingredients to maintain profits. This raises the question, if even a simple can of soup is becoming harder to afford, then what items are still truly inexpensive? And the worrying part is that those who suffer the most are always the middle class, the ones who count every dollar on their weekly shopping bills, and who stock up on a few cans of soup to deal with busy days when cooking isn't an option. Products that once offered convenience, savings, and familiarity are now taking up a larger portion of your bill, but providing less nutritional value than ever before. Do you feel like you're being squeezed? No one forces you to buy them, but nothing is as quick, cheap, and long-lasting as canned goods. Walmart, once the symbol of affordability, is no longer able to keep that promise. While Walmart may not be the main culprit, have you noticed the difference in every aisle? Do you see people lingering longer in the canned goods section? Not to pick their favorites, but to compare prices and count every flavor? In the end, they sigh and toss the familiar item into their cart. This isn't just happening in cities. According to a USDA survey in 2025, canned food consumption in rural areas has increased by 9% due to a lack of fresh food options. And the number of complaints about quality has risen by 15%. On the other hand, these products are draining people's wallets. Now, let's move on to a product that even the US can't produce enough of to meet domestic demand: bananas. Anyone who has shopped at Walmart has seen those bright yellow bunches of bananas right at the entrance of the produce section. Over the years, bananas have always been one of the cheapest items at Walmart, just a few dozen cents per pound. Convenient, easy to eat, no need to think much. But now, you might not notice that bananas are becoming more expensive. According to the latest report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, the cost of importing bananas into the U.S. has increased by nearly 23% in 2025, the highest rate in 8 years. And Walmart, despite having a strong domestic supply chain, couldn't avoid this price hike. Data from Walmart shows that the average price of a bunch of bananas has increased by about 19% compared to last year. And now, they are no longer considered a cheap item. Why is this happening? Almost no one knows that the US doesn't produce bananas commercially. About 90 to 95% of the bananas you see at Walmart, Costco, Kroger, and most other supermarkets are imported from Central American countries like Guatemala, Honduras, Ecuador, and Colombia. A country with more than 300 million people, a strong agricultural sector, and an extensive supermarket system across 50 states is almost entirely dependent on the climate of Central America to supply this most consumed fruit. But now, this reliance on the supply chain is becoming a major issue. This year, major storms hit Central America earlier than usual, combined with the labor crisis at export ports in Honduras, causing severe disruptions in the global supply chain. At Walmart's distribution centers in Texas and Illinois, delays in banana container shipments have doubled compared to last year. As a result, the banana shelves at many Walmart stores are no longer as stocked as before. Some days, only a few bruised bananas turn brown are left. As the supply decreases, prices naturally rise. Walmart is still trying to maintain its image of low prices, but bananas, once the symbol of affordability, have now become a significant problem. Think about this. Bananas aren't just a convenient breakfast for workers, a snack for the elderly, but also an essential food for children, vegetarians, gym-goers, and low-income families. So even if prices increase, Walmart can't simply remove bananas from the shelves. The only thing they can do is quietly raise the prices with no signs or label changes, just the total value on your receipt increasing without you noticing. You may have noticed that the price of a bunch of bananas, once $1.30, is now up to $1.50, even close to $2. You might be wondering why they're so expensive. Ironically, even though the price of everything else may fluctuate, bananas remain an essential item you can't easily replace. There is no real substitute for bananas. They're both a staple food and a clear reminder of the fragility of the current economy. You can't grow bananas in your backyard, nor can you replace them with something else similar. And now, you can't be sure Walmart will always keep this item priced low. Next, let's talk about coffee, a popular product that many can't live without in their daily lives. Have you ever stood in front of the coffee aisle at Walmart and felt confused about which one to choose? Maybe you've picked a cheap bag of great value or a can of Maxwell House that your parents and grandparents used to buy. Or perhaps you've gone for premium brands like Starbucks, Dunkin', or McAfee with their sleek packaging and rich flavor. But now, the prices are no longer as affordable as before. The problem is, are you really buying real coffee? According to a survey by the National Coffee Association in early 2025, over 63% of middle-aged consumers in the U.S. said that coffee prices at Walmart have increased unreasonably over the past 18 months, especially for ground coffee and packaged coffee. This has not only left consumers confused about which one to choose, but also questioning the true quality of the product they are spending money on. The biggest issue isn't just the price. It's that the higher prices aren't accompanied by better quality. A Consumer Reports investigation revealed that many popular coffee brands at Walmart are blending up to 30% of filler ingredients like roasted soybeans, roasted corn, and artificial flavorings into their products, despite still labeling them as 100% Arabica. You think you're buying pure coffee, but in reality, it's a chemical mixture with a coffee-like aroma. That's the frustration. Coffee is more expensive not because of rare or hard-to-transport ingredients, but because brands are trying to keep prices low by reducing quality, then selling inferior products as if they're pure coffee. Walmart, instead of stepping in, lets everything continue as usual. To maintain competitive prices, they constantly add cheaper brands with declining quality. And you, the loyal customer, don't notice this right away. When you brew your morning cup, you'll notice the flavor is duller, the aroma fades quickly, and the alertness you once felt is no longer there. 2025. Coffee review data shows that over 41% of customers over 50 have switched to coffee pods or whole beans because they no longer trust traditional packaged coffee. But that's a more expensive option. You're paying more just to get the real coffee flavor back. And the painful part is that your taste hasn't changed. Companies change the product without notifying you. You only realize the difference when the coffee no longer wakes you up, when your taste buds start to rebel. Walmart, which you once trusted for affordable prices that were still good, is quietly breaking that trust without an explanation. All they do is fill the shelves and let you pick without thinking. Next up is lettuce. You stand in front of the fresh lettuce section at Walmart, where the pre-cut bags look fresh, clean, and convenient. But now, the prices are making you think twice. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the price of romaine lettuce increased from 2.83 to $3 per pound in the first few months of 2025. Although this increase may seem small, when added to the other daily items, the feeling of normal starts to fade. And what frustrates you even more is not just the price hike, but the growing suspicion. You begin to wonder, is lettuce really more expensive because it's hard to grow, due to the weather, or is there another factor at play? According to a USDA report, the price of fresh lettuce is expected to slightly decrease nationwide in the summer of 2025. But at Walmart, you see no sign of any price drop. Instead, it seems that lettuce prices continue to climb. This only makes you more skeptical of Walmart's pricing. You don't see any signs of discounts or price change notifications. You only see a $4 bag of lettuce for a morning salad. And at this point, you realize that even the simplest items are becoming more expensive. Walmart may be adjusting prices due to increased labor costs in production areas, or perhaps suppliers are pushing wholesale prices higher, and Walmart isn't adjusting prices when costs decrease. However, what's worth noting is that when the price of lettuce, one of the most affordable and easy-to-use vegetables, goes up, you'll realize that in reality, there are no cheaper alternatives. Lettuce has always been a convenient choice for quick, healthy meals. If you remove it from your cart, you're not just losing a cheap food source, but also affecting the carefully planned weekly budget you've put so much thought into. And this is the big issue. According to the 2025 Summer Consumer Outlook report from Resonance, concerns about the economy have risen by 22% compared to just 6 months ago, with 45.5% of consumers believing that the economy will never return to what it once was. This indicates that when you see the slight increase in lettuce prices, the issue isn't just an expensive lettuce. Everything is changing, and you can't control it. A small change like this feels like a blow to the belief that the things you thought were familiar would always stay the same. You might have considered switching to organic lettuce, but its price is double, sometimes even 1.5 times, the price of regular lettuce. This isn't a replacement. It's the last resort when you have no other choice. You stand there, holding a bag of lettuce, filled with doubt. It feels as if Walmart, once known for its low prices, has now turned every daily shopping decision into a complex equation. The question is no longer, what will I eat tomorrow? But rather, whether you truly know what you're paying for and what you're losing without even realizing it. Next up is chocolate. What once seemed like a simple treat in a Hershey's bar now has you hesitating before adding it to your cart. In the past, a Hershey's bar cost about $1, but now the price is nearly double, sometimes reaching $2.50. A survey from Retail Dive found that over 67% of middle-aged shoppers in the US in 2025 said they started to hesitate before buying chocolate because the price had risen too high compared to the value they received. But why the big change? The global price of cocoa has surged to a record high in Q2 2025, reaching $11 per ton, an increase of over 260% in the past 18 months. The main reasons are severe drought and crop disease in Ivory Coast, combined with global supply chain disruptions. And this affects every chocolate brand you see at Walmart, from Reese's, Lindt, and Hershey's to Walmart's own great value products. No brand is exempt from this price hike. Even the budget options, like Walmart's own chocolate, can't escape the price increase. According to Walmart's product tracking tool, the price has risen by 23% in the first 8 months of 2025. But the question is, who still continues to buy chocolate? The answer is, many still buy it, but with frustration and exhaustion. Have you ever continued to buy a product, even though you know the price is much higher than before, just because you don't want to lose that little bit of sweetness at the end of the day? It's not because you can't calculate the costs, but because it's the only way to soothe the stress from a day filled with bills, premiums, and living expenses. Every time you hold food in your hand, it's a small moment reminding you, I still have the right to enjoy. I can still choose a little joy, even if it's the smallest. However, Walmart, once the ideal destination for finding these small pleasures at affordable prices, is now quietly eliminating that option. Do you remember last holiday season? Buying a large box of chocolate as a gift for the end of the year was perfectly normal. But now, even a medium-sized box of chocolate costs over $12, a 40% increase from 2023. Sadly, many people have slowly stopped buying chocolate without even realizing it. They don't complain, they don't report. They simply walk quietly past the candy aisle. They've learned to skip sweets for financial reasons, not health concerns. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever passed on a Hershey's bar at Walmart? Not because you're afraid of gaining weight, but because you know that just one piece can bump your bill up to an uncomfortable level. It's no longer a simple choice. It's being quietly removed from consumers' shopping carts. And when even a chocolate bar, a small sweetness at the end of the day, makes you stop and think, you realize that the price battle has truly reached the bottom of the American shopping cart. Next is olive oil. If you cook often with olive oil, you'll understand the feeling of standing in front of Walmart's spice aisle, holding your favorite bottle, and suddenly realizing the new price. Olive oil, a staple in the kitchens of millions of American families, has now seen a sharp price increase, making it feel like you're being pushed out of affordable options. This isn't just a few cents increase, it's a shock in value. According to data from the Retail Insight Network, olive oil prices have risen by over 54% in the past 12 months, becoming one of the fastest rising oils in 2025. You might not believe it, but this is happening right at Walmart, where you thought you could still find reasonably priced products. So, what's going on? About 95% of the olive oil in the US is imported from countries like Spain and Italy. However, according to Olive Oil Times, severe droughts in Europe in 2024 and 2025 have reduced olive oil production, with Spain's production dropping by 56%. When supply drops and demand remains unchanged, prices have to rise. Olive oil is not an easy product to replace, especially for families following a Mediterranean diet. But Walmart hasn't explained the reason behind this price increase. They haven't issued any warnings about the climate crisis in Europe. Instead, they just silently change the labels on the shelves and leave you to figure it out when your bill suddenly rises without any clear explanation. Do you remember when olive oil was a symbol of a healthy and sophisticated lifestyle? A spoonful of olive oil instead of butter, fighting inflammation and being good for your health? Now, every time you pour that oil into your salad or meal, you'll feel your wallet growing lighter. Many people are now switching to smaller bottles or using blended oils. However, even these options make them wonder about the real quality of the product. This is especially evident for older people, particularly those who have been using olive oil for decades. They've given it up, not because they no longer like it, but because the price has exceeded their ability to pay. It's not because they want to, but because they have no choice. And there's something bitter in that decision. Have you ever wondered if you could give up olive oil? It's hard to accept, but in this day and age, we are forced to change our habits. And this isn't just a small sacrifice, it's a reflection of a profound change in today's economy. We once didn't think twice when adding olive oil to a salad or using it for cooking. But now, each time we pour the oil into a meal, we not only taste the flavor, but also feel our wallets getting lighter. This is a clear example of the subtle but deep changes in consumers' daily lives. We are no longer just facing price hikes, we are witnessing a fundamental shift in our consumer habits. Next is tomatoes. A food so familiar to every household, easy to grow and eat, is becoming a symbol of the collapse of the American food market. The price of beefsteak tomatoes at Walmart has risen by nearly 50% over the past year, an unprecedented increase. Why is this happening? It's not just due to weather fluctuations, but the result of deeper issues within the global supply chain. Tomato farms in Florida and California are shutting down, and as supply decreases, transportation and production costs surge, leaving consumers with no choice but to endure the higher prices. And in reality, we're not just talking about tomatoes or olive oil. We're facing a broader trend. Everything we once considered essential in our daily lives is becoming more expensive, and we are starting to second-guess every shopping decision. What's concerning is that it's not just premium or luxury items that are seeing price hikes. Even familiar products, those we once thought were stable, like tomatoes, chocolate, or lettuce, are facing continuous price increases. This raises a bigger question. Is this economy really serving anyone? Do we, the consumers, still have the power of choice? Or are we left with more expensive alternatives we can't avoid? This isn't just an issue of prices. It's about a life where we constantly have to adapt and balance our budgets. It reflects a society where only those who can withstand significant changes will be able to maintain stability. It's a powerful message about the hidden crisis in our daily lives. When faced with such profound changes in the economy, it's important that we learn to adjust our consumption habits wisely. Tracking price changes not only helps us save money, but also helps us understand the true value of the choices we make in life. Sometimes, these small changes are warnings of even larger changes to come. And being mentally prepared for future shifts will help us build a more sustainable financial future.